Are you ready? Can you feel it in your bones? Is there something that makes you not feel so alone? Cause here's your boy Vito ready to give you a gift. It's time, motherfucker, for the Monday Night Grift. Let's go! Ooh! Ooh! Oh! Mommy, please behave! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Monday Night Grift. I'm your host, Vito Gesualdi. And we're going to have a time, I tell you what. We're going to have a time. Come on. Right now, you got to get on my friggin' keyboard. We're going to have a time, folks. Here on the Monday Night Grift. It's an exciting Monday, August 22nd. God, how time flies. Jesus. How is it almost the end of August? My life is falling apart. As you can see in the background, my room is a mess. I need a new bookshelf. They don't sell the one I need. I have all these boxes full of crap. Everything's a mess, but not as much of a mess as a She-Hulk. Uh-oh, did I say it? Did I say that? I don't know what I'm saying. I know some people like it. I don't like it. I'm not a fan, but we'll see tonight. We've got a round table. Hopefully some defenders are here. I know at least one. I believe Rhea is here. Hi, Rhea.
Yo, what's up, Vito? Thanks so much for having me on again.
My cat is just knocking things off my desk. What do you... I will feed you later, buddy. You... Oh, my God. I should have fed him before the friggin' stream. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I am so excited to gab about She-Hulk with y'all.
Because I feel like we're going to fight, and now I'm like, you know...
No, I love the criticism. I'm here for it. Like, I want all the discourse.
I'm worried that I'm the big, scary man coming down on female entertainment and characters. I feel like a misogynist, but we'll get into that, of course. We, of course, have Tony, the Geek Getaways here. Hey, Tony.
What's up, Vito?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. It's kind of weird that you're on your side of the spectrum politically, and you're hating She-Hulk, and I'm on the other side, and I'm loving the show.
Yeah, that's true. You're more. Would you consider yourself a conservative type?
Yeah, I would consider myself center right.
And you love She-Hulk.
Love it.
Well, I did rewatch it. I have some more nuanced thoughts. It's not all bad. Let me say that. We've also got John Breaks Bad News is here. John, been a while.
Hello. How is everybody?
Have you updated your lighting?
Yeah, we've updated the lighting.
It's nice.
It's soothing.
The transgender lighting. You got the blue to pink shift.
Yeah, we do. We got some purple lights, some blue lights, trying a new thing here.
All genders are welcome on the show. I'm excited. And we have, of course, with the exciting name of She-Hulk Suck. She-Hulk Suck is here, everyone.
She-Hulk Suck.
Why? How could you what sucks?
She-Hulk Suck.
No. Andy, we can't be evil men coming down on a strong feminist hero like She-Hulk. Well, we're going to get into it, folks. Tonight on the Monday Night Grift. Now, I guess, what can I do? What can I say? Let me see if I can find a picture of She-Hulk, first of all. She's a strong, proud woman. We're one episode deep. Do you know how many episodes? I guess that was all Andy was going to give us. I wasn't sure if Andy was actually going to come on.
I didn't think it was bad.
I'm glad he made that appearance. I think that was very useful.
Can I just say, I didn't like She-Hulk, but I didn't like it for reasons that are not going to be the same for everybody else that didn't
well, that's good. I mean, I hope everybody has a slightly nuanced opinion. Okay, there's Miss She-Hulk, as we can see, hanging out with her cousin Bruce Banner. And like I said, there is some stuff I like. I like having Mark Ruffalo back. I think he does a pretty good job. Again, the first time I watched it, I was just kind of blown away by some of the very... I mean, I don't want to say feminist. Is that the right way to sum it up? Very female-centric writing, specifically on the topic of men mistreating women. And I was like, oh man, is this going to be the whole show? Because when I hear that stuff, and you're going to tell me, Ray, you're going to say, well, you should feel that way. I feel bad. And I don't want to feel bad watching the She-Hulk show, you know? I'm like, well, I just want to watch something that doesn't lecture me about how shitty my gender is and how women, how hard you have it. I get it. But maybe I'm just a big misogynist.
I got a completely different take from that.
Yeah, what did you get?
So, like, when she's explaining just how pissed she is all the time. So, like the metaphor for Hulk is like, men are docile, good, calm creatures until they get pissed, and then they turn into a monster, right?
You're saying that is the theory behind Hulk? Is that
he's
Hulk
like,
is the inner rage of the man?
Yeah, he's like, Bruce Banner is like a genius, and he's very timid and very nice guy until he gets a little angry. Then he can't control his anger.
Yeah.
Right. So She-Hulk is just a walking demon who's constantly in control of her anger, constantly repressing this monster inside of her, and is so in tune with it that it isn't even a second personality. It's just who she is. So it's like the metaphor is that all women are walking around as these demonic giant green monsters that are able to destroy a town without even trying.
Yeah.
But so like I got the
women contain so much rage. You're saying that, and they're holding it all in. But her argument is that women are surrounded by so much rage that they almost don't even notice it. That they're like, well, I'm not even angry ever, which makes no sense to me. I mean, famously, we see the videos of the Karen types going off, but maybe that's just white women. Maybe women of color are better at holding in.
Are far more level-headed.
Rhea, am I making some jumps in logic here? Feel free to interject.
I'm listening. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, continue.
Speaking of which, is she Hispanic? What is this actress? Thank you, Muzz.
She is of Eastern European descent.
Eastern Europe. So is she a white lady then?
I guess. Yeah.
I don't even see color, Rhea. I don't know if you know that about me. I don't know anymore because like they always find, and a lot of the times they'll be like half a thing, and then you go, okay, well I didn't know that.
Well, she's Canadian.
Yeah, so that's like a person of color, Canadian. That's a whole thing.
She's Canadian.
All right, I tell you what. Here's what we always do with this, and I think it makes for a good discussion. Is why don't we just go through the episode a little bit at a time? No, we can't watch it. We can't watch the show. We tried doing that, and it doesn't work. All right, and I want to thank Brian Babin, who super chatted $2. If you have commentary on this episode as we go along, please super chat and let us know. And let's see what's up. Now, I have heard that this first episode was actually supposed to be the last episode.
No, it was supposed to be the second to last.
Second to last. So originally, we were just going to get dropped into She-Hulk lawyer stuff without the origin story.
Can you imagine how pissed everybody would have been?
Would they? I don't know. Like,
oh wait, no, she would have been She-Hulk.
She would have already been She-Hulk. Yeah, it wouldn't have been.
Okay.
So it would have been, and then eventually we would have seen like, oh, here's how she became She-Hulk.
So they would have skipped the cool montage of her training.
Well, the montage would have come later. Later, we would get the whole origin. I think they were like, well, the origin's not the most important thing. Let's get right into the lawyering, and we'll do the origin later. I mean, this episode definitely structurally worked. I couldn't, if somebody hadn't have told me that it was, plopped out of order, I probably wouldn't have noticed.
Right.
So I think it worked. I mean, it obviously means that like stuff like this feels like maybe a reshoot where she's like, oh, here's the story of what happened.
The whole like looking at the camera, fourth wall break. That I've read somewhere that's supposed to be like a thing. I've never read any She-Hulk stuff, so I don't like. Is that in the comics? She just like looks at you and is like, "Hi, I'm She-Hulk."
Person to tell me.
And I'm wondering how. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
I believe some of that. Tony, you're going to say yes?
Yeah, in the John Byrne run of the She-Hulk, which is what this series is based on, the fourth wall breaking was introduced in that, along with all the lawyer stuff and her being real career centric and very sexual. That's what this whole series and run of the comic book repertoire.
Well, here's Sean Christopher to let me know I'm racist. It means she has to deal with things that anger her regularly without acting out. She can control her emotions. As a black man, that rings true to me. I get that, but like,
hold on. This guy's name's Sean Christopher, and his
that's a black name, Sean.
And his picture is a white
Sean
guy.
Puffy Combs is a black man.
That's a white guy, right? Or is that just the lighting?
No,
in that
he
picture?
says he's a black guy.
That's a black guy? I don't know. I don't believe it.
Lighting does mysterious things. And yeah, I buy that that's a black gentleman. Here's the thing is like, I think all races and colors and genders have to restrain our anger. I know I'm angry all the time about the stupidest shit. And you know how well I hide it? Not at all.
Well,
I have to go on
Vito.
YouTube and make videos about how mad I am about everything, and then go on Twitter and fight with everybody. My life's a mess.
I gotta tell you.
Hold up.
Yeah. Go.
See how I just interrupted you? I did the whole thing. No one gives a shit if I do it, right? But if Rhea did it, everyone's gonna be like, "Damn, Rhea's a bitch," and that's why women are not allowed to express their anger, because when they do that shit, people look at them in a negative light. When I do it, it's fucking yeah, go ahead, Tony, fucking shut Vito up.
No. Well, that's just me interrupting you as another guy.
I mean, I don't. Here's why it's complicated. Is I think I treat women like I don't. I guess this show's just not for me because I don't want to confront what other people are doing and mistreating women. I don't think I mistreat women.
I also think they blow past all of this so fast. It's like in 2 monologues, she talks about how women are mistreated.
No, she doesn't. Well, yeah, but like it's like it keeps coming up.
Yeah, but it's in like these like jokey ways. I feel like they had an opportunity. Like this is a series, right? Like they have an opportunity to really parse through this. And like I was disappointed watching it because it's just like, oh, this is very base level, like intro to feminism kind of shit, which I'm sure a lot of people haven't been exposed to. But it was just kind of like you could have done so much more.
Here's my thought: is that like are women excited about this kind of characterization? And Ray, I think you're going to say yes.
So for me, I tried to watch the show as like just experiences that are being relayed from the perspective of Jennifer. There are moments where she does, kind of, make generalizations for all women about, how a lot of us have to kind of reserve our, anger.
She says women
and fear.
infinitely have to do it more than anyone else.
Yeah, that's another example where she was,
which is possible for a character to be wrong, and I think in that situation she was supposed to be going a little over the top.
Yeah, I do agree with y'all to an extent that maybe there could have been more like qualifying statements where like, she kind of like prefaces her statements with like, in my experience or in general, things that like I would consider more like more welcoming ways to introduce those difficult to talk about truths for a large majority of women and femme presenting individuals who do have similar experiences to her. So I think maybe like the message delivery was a little clunky, but for me personally, like me watching it, I was able to relate to a lot of her experiences as she was relaying them, just like things that we see happen directly to Jennifer on screen. The more general speaking, like, women have to go through this, and this, like, I feel like that messaging could have been delivered a little bit more with tact, but I think in her state that she was delivering that information, she was emotionally elevated. So that in reality can oftentimes happen with other folks who, may speak in generalities when they are emotionally elevated. So I think that was, pretty realistic to what may happen in a conversation.
Here was what I was thinking is that, we look at like a male character, like the Hulk, who is defined by, a lot of interesting plot and traumas and whatever else. And then I get to She-Hulk and I go, well, in 3 different situations, they tell me this character is largely defined by her. I mean, I guess she's called She-Hulk, but is largely defined by gender and her relationship to men. And I find that much more uninteresting than what every other hero is dealing with. And in a way, I almost feel like it's a shortcoming for the character that she is so defined by gender. Now, it's possible this is just in the first, episode, and she's going to kind of find more interesting things. But the fact that a lot of what she's about is defining herself in relationship to men, and I'm going to do it my female way or whatever else. I don't know. To me, it just feels, limiting.
You know what I think would have made the show better is if they had rewritten this and they just have her be played by Mark Ruffalo, and they drop the she, and it's just called Hulk, and it's just a show about the Hulk.
Yeah, and she's not in it.
And she's not in it at all. No,
all right.
I'm kidding.
So as I said we would go through the episode, and then we immediately didn't. But let's actually go through the episode. Okay. So right away, I mean, because that's the thing is like it seems to be everywhere is that you have the male lawyer kind of like chiding her. At one point, he even tells her, and it seems like an 80-yard line. He's like, "Why don't you smile or something, or smile more?"
Yeah,
which is this kind of that's the thing is that it's not even interesting the sexism. It's like I feel like we've tread all this ground. Yes, men telling women to smile, women getting catcalled. Like it would be cool if it was like interesting sexism. It feels so basic to me.
I didn't take it as sexism though, Vito, because they're lawyers and she's supposed to present like a friendly face when she's giving her closing argument, right? She wants to sway the jury. So he's like, "Hey, smile so you can connect with the jury."
I get that, but it's clearly coming from a man, and the woman is in her corner. I feel like there's something intentional there.
Yeah, they didn't react to it.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say they didn't react to it negatively. She didn't like attack him like, "Shut up, man! Don't tell me to smile." Right?
No, the second he leaves, they're like,
"What an asshole!"
She says, "I'm gonna murder him."
And also, like the entire show is about her restraining her anger in front of men. That's like the entire point.
So they're building up that theme. Let's see. Mike Hunt for 5 says the point of She-Hulk is she's eye candy for men, but like a physically strong woman with a nice smile. Anything else is a fugazi. I don't know about that necessarily. I think if you want, what would have been great is why not cover all aspects of it? I would have made this lawyer a lady and be like, you know what? I also have to restrain my anger when catty fucking bitches try to get up in my shit. And women try to tear each other down. There's a lot of that. Would have, I feel like would have made her a more fleshed out character, but instead they make it this man versus woman kind of thing.
I think that's going to be the saving grace of this show for a lot of people when we see more discourse between Titania and Jennifer as She-Hulk, because what we saw, like just a little bit of Titania on screen, she's very like, fierce. She has like this hyper, femininity in like how she dresses and in her makeup. And she obviously had no issues, busting into the courtroom, and it took She-Hulk, or Jennifer transforming into She-Hulk and a bunch of different guards to like take her down eventually. But as we see more of that character, I think she'll be confronted with, like Titania is this like unapologetic, woman, and here's Jennifer, trying to restrain, her new found, superhuman abilities
Titania's
while trying to be a despondent, lawyer. So she's juggling a lot of different things that she's trying to repress, including that are all tied to her emotions, whereas Titania is very unapologetic about her abilities and potentially her emotions. I don't know. Maybe we'll see that in the show.
I just have a clarifying question. Titania is the bitch at the end?
Yes. The angry lady at
She's
the
just
end.
the bitch that flies in.
We're not using such charged sexist language. John breaks bad news. I will say this. So it kind of seems like She-Hulk is going to be the Professor X of women's rights, and Titania is going to be the Magneto, where, she's going to be like, we don't need no men. Kill all men, maybe, will be Titania. I don't know if they're going to keep doing this gender narrative. To me, it seems very blatant.
I think that's
but
what the
I don't know if
about.
It's actually going to be the focus of the show. We'll see.
Like every man in the show is either like an annoying prick or like an evil, okay, this scene where she's at the bar.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I wanted to say I was confused by this scene. So you've just been in a car accident. And then instead of just like going in the front door and being like, "Hey, can I use your phone? I've been in a car accident. My cousin might be dead." She like sneaks into the bathroom. I did not understand that.
She wants to make herself presentable for all the men that she could encounter.
No, I don't think that's why. I think it was
just.
I literally think that's the like. I'm not even joking. I think she's embarrassed that she's disheveled.
Oh, that she looks all fucked up.
Yeah,
I don't think that's
what it was. A car accident.
Well, she was just the She-Hulk. She literally just She-Hulk. Remember, she turned into the She-Hulk and ran off.
So she's disoriented.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, what's going on?"
Yeah, but she's not disoriented enough to like. She knows she wants a bathroom.
Well, because she knows women are going to help her in the bathroom. That's what they do.
Is that what? No, she tries to resist the help in the bathroom,
and then immediately the one lady's like, "Whoever did this to you doesn't care about you, at all."
I mean, this was
that's my best black lady.
This was bizarrely comical. You
need makeup.
Yeah, who did this to you? What man, lady, or they did this to you? And then start make-upping her. I don't know, Rhea, was this funny? Was this a good gag?
I definitely think it was reflective of like my own personal experiences going to clubs and like, getting like that support from other women in restrooms.
Will they just grab you and start putting makeup on you?
It is hyperbolic because this is sort of like a sitcom type of vibe. Yeah. Like everything is hyperbolic to an extent. So yeah, like that camaraderie though in restrooms is like, a big time, thing.
They gave her shoes, which sounds kind of
yes,
women bring an extra pair of shoes. Sure. All right.
I think
women's bathrooms sound lovely. I got to spend more time in women's bathrooms. Men's bathrooms always just reek of piss, and there's usually some vomit.
Well, now that all the bathrooms are becoming what do you call it? Out here in California, at least, they're like all gender bathrooms. I'm like, it's all like check between the two different all gender bathrooms to see which one clearly used to be which one clearly used to be the ladies' room. And you go, this one's nicer.
Which one
just got like paintings on the wall and flowers.
I thought it was interesting though that she prioritized, fixing up her appearance before just reaching out to like a bartender for a phone or something to, call someone to ask for a ride or
is that a commentary? Like, was she worried that the bartender wouldn't help her out if she looked homeless?
Possibly, because it might be, commenting on like who's gonna help me when I'm like, so disheveled, and they might think I'm, like some random, wandering person who might be a little, off. So let me just fix myself up really quick. So yeah, I think that was how I read this scene.
Well, Mike Hunt for 2 says She-Hulk is hot and smiles. That's why she exists. Come on. She's a nuanced character, Mike Hunt. You're killing me. Mike Hunt for 5. She-Hulk is a subversive character. Essentially, she's Deadpool if Deadpool was funny. Plus, she's hot. Fugazi. Thank you, Mike Hunt, who's having a lot of fun. All right.
I love that word, Fugazi, or Fugazi.
What is Fugazi? I don't know what that is.
Fake. You're Italian. You should know what that means.
All right. So then we have the catcalling scene.
Fugazi this was the first. This or something. Never mind. I'm thinking of a different acronym. Just go on.
I think Vito's frozen.
Oh, Vito dropped
Vito
out.
has died.
So this is now my show. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? I'm John from John Breaks Bad News. I'm joined here by Rhea, who does a lovely live stream. What are you playing now, Rhea?
Oh, so
we're back. I screwed it up. That was
again
awful.
Interrupting a woman who's about to plug her fucking stream.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was like just talking to myself for no reason. Okay, so we have the famous catcalling scene, and as I said in my review,
can Rhea just tell? I'm still on the. I guess this is my.
Oh, Rhea, you were talking and I missed it. Rhea, say stuff. Sorry, or I don't know what's happening. This whole thing's screwed up.
Let's get back to the show.
Let's get back to the show. Okay, so here's why I did not like this, and it's not necessarily this scene would be fine if it didn't already exist in other stuff, even within the Marvel universe. For instance, in Captain Marvel, there was that biker guy who comes up to her and he goes, "Hey, baby, why don't you smile? What's wrong? What's your problem?" And then she beats him up. In going to the DC side of things, in Wonder Woman 1984, there was the Cheetah played by Kristen Wiig, who in one scene she gets accosted by a cat caller, and then in a later scene she comes back and beats him up. And I want to say I've even seen this in other movies. I was actually going to take a look Am I crazy when in X-Men was Rogue in the bar getting like messed with before Wolverine had to screw up some guys, or am I making this up in my head?
I think so.
Superheroes just really don't like catcalling. It's like the worst crime that you could do. It's catcalling, taking over the world, burning down an orphanage. But catcalling is always the worst crime that anyone can commit. And this is in the superhero handbook.
I think it would be like, isn't there some other form of sexism she could experience that would be less stereotypical?
But I think they fondled her on screen, then they'd have to make it a PG-13
No, I don't want. You don't got to
show.
fondle her. That's too much. Okay, but like,
you want to make a point, right?
I don't know.
Well, here's the thing, Vito. They kind of subverted your expectation because you're expecting her to Hulk out and then smack these guys around for catcalling her and trying that. But instead of that happening, the Hulk tackles her, and they don't get their comeuppance.
And also, I really don't think these guys meant any harm. I feel like part of the show is that she's wrong all the time about the intentions of men. Like, they're clearly like, "Hey, are you okay?" Like, in a lot.
Well, they're like, she says she wants to be left alone, and then they're like, "Hey, we're just being friendly," but they don't go over the top. I don't think.
They're not like they don't pull out a switchblade and start dancing towards her.
Well, they do say, "You're too good to talk to us." Like, at that point, they're kind of being dicks.
Yeah, okay,
But see, John, you didn't even notice the blatant misogyny.
Well, I was watching. I stole this show. I refuse to play. Normally, I don't watch any of these bullshit things, and I just come in here and I just lie.
You're a resident Marvel expert, John. All the Marvel.
I watched this. I took the time to watch this, and it just like I don't know. I feel like there was not enough of like overt like men being awful, because we can be. We can 100% be. I've been awful a few times during this very episode.
I mean, does anyone have a catcalling experience? I'm gonna say, well, Raya, how often do you experience this kind of catcalling behavior?
Yeah, pretty frequently. So, like, for me, just to kind of like give my own read on this situation, it's like intention versus impact. I totally hear, Vito and John explaining like, the intention might be, to be friendly, or maybe like how.
I didn't say that. John said that.
Sorry, maybe I'm like reducing what y'all are saying, but like I'm trying to say that like you're saying that the intention is not as malicious as, it's being interpreted as, or how the impact on Jennifer is psychologically.
Yeah.
And for her, like, y'all see how small she is. She's like, like 5 foot what, like 2, 3, like, and then these three huge stranger dudes in the middle of like, some random bar where she's all alone, like, approach her and are following her. Like, that creates a psychologically like unsafe environment. Like, I would definitely feel like, threatened in that space, even though like in the moment someone else's read on it maybe that they're just being friendly. In her mind, she doesn't feel safe, and
she's worried that something could happen, which is reasonable.
I agree. I just wish they would have pushed that a little further, where they felt
it was definitely
more threatening.
Clunky. There's a lot of things in this show
that's really my biggest
one that
gripe.
has been clunky. Yeah.
My biggest gripe with the show is just that, like, that's a theme. I understood it, but it was not super clear to me, and I wish they took a step further to make it more clear. Like, if they had taken out a switchblade and then started dancing towards her, I would have known they were bad.
But like, okay, but
if they started going like this and like,
if three random dudes were like following you around, like, let's say, like, in a place where you weren't, familiar with, would you not feel unsafe to an extent?
Oh yeah, I've been in that situation. Absolutely. I've been drunk on the street before. I'm probably going to do it tonight.
I guess my argument is, look, I know this can happen. It is scary. It is real. Okay. But it's also not fun. Like, I mean, like, I went to see Thor, the new Thor, and I'm going to spoil it. What's her fucking name has brain cancer? And I'm just like, I don't want, this is, am I stupid in thinking that I go to Marvel to not like have to deal with like really like heavy shit? Like, yeah, you could have some of that, but like some of this stuff is just getting too much. And again, having to hear that, you know, men are horrible, rapey guys, and we murder women and whatever else. I'm like, I'm not having fun. I thought I was gonna get a funny lawyer show like a Harvey Birdman.
Well, this isn't for you anymore.
Well, just to make sure that our coverage of this female-led show is perfectly balanced, here's my favorite woman, Top Loaded Gaming.
Hey, everyone.
Of course. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, everybody?
Did you watch She-Hulk?
I did.
Well, then you're going to enjoy this discussion. Well, Mike Hunt for 2 says, She-Hulk more like S-Hulk, am I right? Because she's sulking, is that what we're saying? Mike Hunt for 2, because it's his show. I've been catcalled by men. It's not fun. And Merlin
catcalled
for 5.
by women. It's a great time.
Is the She-Hulk comic big on sexism and tackling it, or is it just in this show? That's another thing. I don't think the comic really. I mean, I'm sure it deals with a little bit of that, but I have not read the comic. But I never remember anyone saying, "Well, it's all about She-Hulk." If anything, let me see if I can find the famous cover. If anything, it was kind of very clearly for men. Let's see.
What are you going to show, the jump rope cover?
Oh, I'm going to show the jump rope cover, my friend. Let's see. Quit stalling, Shulky. We've got 22 pages to fill. This is it because you demanded it. They said if you don't buy it was something in like the previous issue. They were like, if you don't buy She-Hulk, we're going to have to make her jump rope naked. And then they ended up having her jump rope naked in one of the pages.
That seems like a really terrible. That seems like a fucking terrible sales plan. Like,
it was the
don't
80s.
Buy this issue because in the next issue we'll make her jump rope naked because we can draw her.
I forget
and we can do whatever we want.
What the gimmick was?
Well, she wasn't naked. That was the gimmick.
Well, no, but she was naked.
No, she's not. If you go through the whole issue, she puts the jump
right
rope
there.
down. And she's wearing a bikini, and the joke is that they drew the lines to make her look naked.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, come on here.
I own the issue. I read the comic.
All right, fair enough. So, yes, they're clearly reimagining this character for modern audiences. I mean, that's my question: is this? Am I just a big idiot? Is this what modern audiences want? Do you want to constantly be reminded of real world traumas and whatever else in what I was hoping was going to be like a fun comedy, and it kind of I don't know. There's some comedy I like, but mostly I was just like, this is depressing and weird.
Well, me personally, I'd like to kind of escape reality when I watch something. You know, like my reality shit. You know, like I just want to escape into something, and it's just like more and more of the real world and reminders of like, hey, everything's going to shit. You know, here's a reminder of that, which a dose of, you know, fantasy.
But then again, maybe females like seeing their struggles represented on the screen. Maybe this is good entertainment. Rhea, you liked the show. Do you like all this stuff where she's talking about stuff you've experienced and you relate to the character more?
Me personally, I want to see it impact more of her in a more like challenging sort of way, because we didn't even get to talk about how, you know, she is just, you know, physically like, you know, better than Bruce in all aspects of, you know, the training side and being able to harness her Hulkness. So for me, I'm like, okay, you're encountered by all of these different challenges in life. I want to see you actually struggle how I would imagine I would, and that I know I have with those similar situations and that other people do. So if you want to make this meaningful for other audiences and resonate with folks other than me, who might be the target audience, then you're going to have to show some sort of, you know, trials and tribulations. You can't just, you know, be blessed with the ability for emotional, you know, intelligence without any sort of, you know, challenges to. So that's why I think that our judgment on episode 1 is kind of limited, because the rest of the series is probably going to have that exactly.
Well, I was going to say, and maybe this show resonates more with women, but let's be clear, I think Disney wants it to be popular across all genders. And I don't know if these kind of things resonate with men.
It resonated with me.
I will tell you this much. If you don't want to be facing the realities of the world, then you can watch a fucking baby show like Bubble Guppies, you stupid little baby bastards. Okay,
but I want like a midway. I want a midway baby show.
If you want to be entertained, throw on some Coco Melon and listen to Baby Shark 500 times. Okay?
I love Coco Melon. I love all those.
This is for real people, real adult people. It's a giant green lady who sells you green beans in a can, and it's for adults. Okay.
He didn't sit on anybody's face, and that was probably the biggest problem.
I will agree with you. That is a problem.
And she also didn't inflate like a balloon, which hopefully they get to that at some point.
So wait, is John trolling, or did he actually like the show?
John did not like it. John.
No. I will say this. I did like the show. I think it was clunky. Like what Rhea said. I think it was clunky. Honestly, I think the themes need to be talked about. I think that this kind of shit needs to be spoken about and needs to be done in a way that it's like a superhero, because stupid people like me can only consume these kinds of messages if it's done with latex and sexy bodies.
Well, I've put up a poll in the chat. Did you like She-Hulk? It's pretty split so far. 45% yes, 55% no. I don't know why that's so comical to you, John. Mike Hunt for 5 says the comic was great. She's the perfect woman. You never had to tell her to smile because she was always smiling. And those skull-crushing thighs. Well, that's what men want. We want skull-crushing thighs.
Yeah, let me jump in here real quick, Vito.
Yeah, Tony, I think you were saying that it does resonate with you.
It resonates with me. And I think what you guys are really missing is that she's going how she has to control her anger, how she has to deal with all this stuff. But the entire time, Bruce Banner is having to control his anger and aggravation with She-Hulk because she is pissing him off. And you can tell as it progresses with her attitude that he's trying to he's getting madder and madder, but he's holding back because he doesn't want to whip his cousin's ass. I think you guys are missing that.
And then he eventually does whoop his cousin's ass. He's kind of reluctant to do so. That was good. I liked that. Ride Dog for 5. I don't care about the politics. I just didn't find it funny at all. The Hulk literally said, bruh. Marvel humor is so cringe. Sometimes. I mean, sometimes people say stupid stuff. Sometimes I like the modern jokes or whatever. Anyway, let's see. So here I actually enjoyed... I laughed at one joke here. I will say I was not laughing a whole lot through this episode. A lot of the comedy fell flat for me. I kind of like the joke where he said, you got a lethal dose of gamma radiation. She's like, am I going to die? And he's like, no, it's fine. She's like, you got to tell me it's fine more.
I don't think it's funny that they joked about death like that.
Okay, shut up, John. And then he analyzes her blood. This was a little weird. They go, because you're a Bruce Banner, because you're a Banner. You get Hulk. We have special Hulk genetics. Fine, why not? I don't care. Then he burns her blood. And
well, Vito, you're skipping over that. The whole reason they burned her blood is because they're highlighting the fact that Hulk blood gives people superhuman powers, and that's going to be part of the series.
It mostly gives Banners powers.
No, it only makes Banners turn into the
Hulk, so it can do other stuff.
Because
Maybe
remember, what's the name? The Abomination is in the series. The Abomination's blood is probably going to give other people powers, and that's what they're highlighting here. It's like a Chekhov gun. They're like, look, blood gives you powers, and we're destroying it. See?
If you want a real Chekhov's gun, we also have Chekhov's spaceship.
That's for World War Hulk. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, well, some people are saying it might be Hulk's son.
He's going to come back for child support?
Well, he came back from
Sakaar.
Skarg, is that his name? Son of Hulk?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, in the comics, he's a Sakaar boy.
Well, he has two sons.
He has 2 sons? What's his other son?
I forget the other son's name, but he also has a daughter because he was basically raped.
Well, right away, Jesus Christ. Right away, She-Hulk starts negging her cousin. I mean, I want to say it's fun cousin stuff. But
I do like the sexual tension between the two of them.
No, there's no sexual tension. You're watching the wrong show.
I can't wait for episode 3 where they
No, none of that.
Well, there is a comic where that happens, Vito.
Yeah, oh, Jesus.
That's awesome.
He's going to go, I figured out the only way to make more Hulk super soldiers. I was thinking, I was like, if you get pregnant as a regular lady and then you turn into a Hulk, does your fetus turn into a Hulk baby inside of you? You know? And then you go back, like, are you going back and forth? All right. So
I
anyway,
think so because of the blood, you know. But anyway,
you think yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So like you transform and your baby who's connected to you turns into a Hulk baby.
Well, they never expressed that the gamma radiation can be transferred through cum. So.
Yeah, but
the baby's living inside.
But your eggs are gonna have Hulk DNA.
Yeah, but can he just bust on a bitch's face and then she become a Hulk?
The Hulk?
She would die from the radiation poisoning.
Holy Lord.
What if it was his mom? His stepmom.
Then there's always the question of what if you're in your normal form and your fetus turns into a Hulk and he punches his way right out of your womb? Okay,
that'd be fucking.
That was on The Boys.
Your little baby might get. Wait, did somebody get pregnant and have a baby punch out of them on The Boys?
Yeah, that's one of the
spoilers.
Yeah,
please.
Spoiler alert.
Well, that was the famous. That's from Mallrats. Classic movie. Mike Hunt says, in fairness to the writers, it's hard to write characters that are as popular as everyone's favorites: Hawkeye, Falcon, and Captain Marvel. I kind of like Hawkeye. I think Falcon's fine. They just give him the stupidest costume. And again, these shows are too preachy. When he gave that big speech at the end,
yeah, that was hot.
See, now I feel racist because Rhea, do you remember Rhea and Tony, our persons of color here? Did you enjoy Captain America's speech about race at the end of Captain America and the Winter Soldier, or whatever it is? Did you watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I did not.
Okay, well, he gets in the middle of like a terrorist situation. They're running around like saving people from a building. He goes, "Hold on, I want to give a speech," and everything stops. So Falcon can go, "Listen, you got to treat people better." And I was like, "This is not the time for a speech, Falcon. People are dying." Mike Hunt says Hulk has a huge family in Old Man Logan. Yeah, that doesn't count. All those, but I do believe that it is inbred kids that he has with She-Hulk.
They are
in Old Man Logan, and they're all screwed up hillbillies.
I'm so hard right now talking about that.
John Rester 5, She-Hulk's a modern woman. Where is her OnlyFans? Good question. Also in Old Man Logan, She-Hulk and Hulk's incest brood are evil cannibals. That is correct.
That's also
Old Man Logan's pretty fun. And then Wolverine gets eaten by Hulk, and then he bursts his way out with his adamantium claws. Merlin for 5, World War Hulk answers this. Hulk had kids. Just saying. Okay, so Hulk is doing this whole thing where he goes, "You got to change your life," and I will say he's kind of like mansplaining to her. Well, not mansplaining because she doesn't know any of this, but he is kind of like, "You got to be a superhero," and I'm like, "Whoa, bro, hold on! Just because she has powers doesn't mean she has to be a hero."
Yes, she does.
Well, that's the thing is, it's the old Spider-Man: with great powers come great responsibility. What if I don't want responsibility? What if I just want to play Fortnite and look at, internet porn? I don't want to do anything with any. Why does she have to be a superhero?
Well, if we're going back to that question, I think that we should take a look at Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules of Life.
No, we're never no Jordan Peterson ever. A meth addict.
She needs to clean her room
in which he states, if you have great responsibility, you must use it to be a good man. Be a
All right, so this was shut up, John. This was another good joke. I liked this joke. This was a joke for me where he goes, "We need an emotional response." She says, "Put on a Pixar movie. Put on the part where Bing Bong jumps out of the wagon in Inside Out." And Hulk, Bruce Banner reacts. He's like, "Oh, Bing Bong. No, I'm not putting that on." I was like, "Oh, that's funny," because that is the most emotional scene in that movie. If you've seen it, I definitely was teary-eyed watching Inside Out. So I identified with this joke. This was a joke for me. Did anyone else like the Bing Bong joke, or just me?
No, I don't know what Inside Out is.
I don't know what that is either.
You haven't seen Inside Out?
Yeah, I'm an adult, so.
Bing Bong is like the plushy elephant-looking creature.
Yeah, that represents her like childhood and like that was left behind. It's like, oh my god, it's Bing Bong. I have a magic wagon, and then he jumps out of the magic wagon and sacrifices himself in like a classic sacrificial character moment and disappears into the ether. Oh,
I'll watch it tonight, and if I cry, I'll let you know.
I've stopped watching Pixar films since my kids stopped watching them.
Oh, some of them are good. Well, actually, all the recent Pixar films kind of suck. There hasn't been a good one in a while.
I like that one that's about that little girl's period.
Oh,
that's not what it's about.
I mean, that is kind of what it's about.
It's
Tony.
about her
Let's
pussy
be real.
bleeding.
Jesus Christ, John, with the language.
It was actually
about
a good
her
movie.
menstrual cycle turning her cat.
Sorry,
Tony, it's a metaphor for what do you call it?
her pussy bleeding.
Puberty. It's a puberty metaphor. John, Jesus Christ, you're gonna get us in trouble. What was I gonna say? Yeah, Pixar movies, they're all great. I also like the joke where she says, "Why do you have a chamber with a million fucking buzzsaws?" Like, that's true. Why do you have that? What purpose does this serve?
It's very necessary.
Do you use this to trigger yourself or whatever else?
I would assume.
It gets bored.
I wouldn't go in there.
But then we immediately learn
looks
the
dangerous.
most important aspect of She-Hulk is that even though she transforms into a Lady Hulk, she has her personality. She never turns into like a super stupid monster. Now, I don't know if that's 100% true because I kind of got the feeling that she was lying to Bruce. Did anybody else kind of get that feeling?
Where she says she's in complete control, or
yeah, he says you really don't feel like there's anybody else's hand on the wheel, and she goes, "No, I mean I freaked out in the woods, but I'm totally fine now." I kind of got the feeling that she knows that she still has the ability to like lose her control, but she's lying
that's not what they're
because she wants
talking about,
to get out of
Vito.
that situation.
I felt the same thing because I don't know if y'all talked about this. I'm assuming y'all did, but didn't he have to stop her from attacking all those guys?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, she specifically says, "Well, when that happened, I was like kind of lost, whatever. But now it's fine. Everything's fine."
Well, women are liars, so
That's true. I think
That
you're
is
misunderstanding though, Vito.
Yeah.
Because the Hulk is a separate personality from Bruce Banner. It's a completely different individual. He has dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah.
The She-Hulk doesn't. That's the difference.
And in the comics, she doesn't either.
Right.
I bet you if the Hulk smoked some weed, he'd probably chill.
Oh, he's chilled out now because he's mastered after years of meditation.
Yeah, he
Brian Babin
felt
for
that with
5. If I had superpowers, I'd only benefit me. Screw you. Pizza right now.
All right, it's back to being the John Breaks Bad News show. Rhea,
wait, did I go away? Was I not there?
You were gone for a little bit.
Oh, how long? I'm an idiot.
Like 15 seconds.
Nah, all right. Well, Brian Babin for 5 says, if I had superpowers, I'd only do things that benefit me. Screw you guys, except you, Vito. I'd super speed deliver you a pizza if you were starving. All right. Well, don't forget to super chat me a pizza. All your super chats go towards pizza. Mike Hunt says, can you sell photos of your red panda? Let's not make that a thing. That terminology should not be. Oh, God. That cartoon is literally about 14-year-olds, you psychopaths. Go ahead, Rhea.
It's about a 14-year-old's pussy bleeding.
All right, mutant John for a second. All right, Rhea, go ahead.
In this scene, I felt like it was supposed to show that she's in a safe place with someone she trusts to be, completely, unfiltered as far as like what her feelings are, and projecting this air of control. Because there is sort of like that rivalry between them as well. And her just being like emotionally neutral in this space probably gave her that ability to exist alongside her She-Hulk self and not feel like there's another hand on the wheel. So yeah, I think that's what I mentioned when you asked the same question, Vito, on your post the other day. I mentioned, in this scene specifically, she's like emotionally neutral, so she may have the greatest sense of control in this moment, but in other situations, like back at the bar where she felt probably physically threatened, she does not have as much control.
All right, real quick, I'm going to disable my VPN, so I'm probably going to disappear for about 10 seconds. So,
all right, so
get
it'll be my
your
show
plugs in. Yeah, go nuts.
Ray, what have you been streaming recently?
Oh, I've just been streaming Fire Emblem and then the new Mario Kart DLC. I got a few more games requests from people who have donated recently. So, yeah, I'll be checking out Doom 2016 as well as, let's see what else. Wave Racer 64. That was another random request, too. And Fatal Frame. Yeah, like I'm all over the place as far as like what I
used to just play the Wave Race like trial course and do backflips for like hours.
Can't wait.
I think I was autistic as a kid. No, I liked this scene. I like this little dialogue where she finally has like a small amount of humility. I guess part of the problem was I want women to be subservient to men. No, I just felt like she's in a situation where her cousin's clearly trying to help her out, and she's kind of being like a huge dick about it. Now he's kind of being a dick as well, but I thought this was a nice little, please teach me how to do Hulk stuff. I was like, all right, at least she's like got a little bit of like understanding. But then she kind of clearly loses some of that during this like training montage where I'm like, bro, don't fuck around. Literally, you're turning into like a monster that could theoretically punch a hole in the planet or whatever else. And this dude's telling you, all right, we're going to meditate. And, you know, she's, I mean, I guess this is common, though. This is common from the training montage that you're supposed to have the wise master and the impudent pupil. But the problem is they kind of turn it on its head where normally the wise master is supposed to slap the pupil around and let them know how dumb they are, where she kind of turns it around on him and is doing things way better than him for some reason.
I just think they didn't spend enough money on montage music. Like the music that they played during that montage was just kind of fucking lame. Took me out of it. If they had played something like anything by Pantera, that would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been good. Sorry, I was pulling up a clip. I think of course, Kill Bill Volume 2, where you know, you got and this is obviously, you know, a trope from the Chinese martial arts films on which the movie is drawing from. But, you know, you have the guy who knows what he's doing, and you have the dumb novice who gets their ass kicked and, you know, suffers great missteps in trying to master their powers. And then She-Hulk turns it on its head and is like, no, she's better at jumping than him. She's better at ground pounding than him. She's better at balance than him. And I was like, this isn't like funny or interesting to me. Like, it's I think it would be funny if she thinks like, oh, I'm hot shit. And then he keeps showing her like, no, you know, you haven't mastered this. I guess there's a little bit of that with the air horn. He's like, see, you really can't, you know, control your transformation. It can be triggered by certain things.
I feel like the show didn't make a decision whether or not it wants one or the other, you know, because when I saw the clip of the rock that he was throwing into space, that came out like I think in the final trailer, and I was like, oh, well, maybe that's going to be like a teachable moment, but no, they still played that as like a one-up on the Hulk.
Yeah, so that the Hulk is like kind of being humiliated by her, and he feels so challenged,
right,
that he has to toss this rock. And I was like, you know, the audience likes Bruce Banner. Like, we don't really want to see him humiliated by his cousin over and over. And it's true. It's like he spent 12 years mastering being a Hulk, and now you're telling me, like, yeah, but he's like weak. I mean, he's obviously stronger than her, but I don't know. It kind of feels, I don't want to say it. I'm going to say it. It's like one of those Mary Sue type situations where you go, dude, don't tell me one character had to work like really hard for 12 years and the other one like goes for like a week. Well, and she's like, I got this figured out. Raya is going to interject.
Yeah. Something that I mentioned in another discussion on this series is that Bruce didn't have another Bruce who was, you know, emotionally neutral and centered to, you know, give him a safe space to train in. So I think that's Jennifer's, you know, huge advantage over what Bruce had over like the last like 12, 15 years. Like, and in this space that he created where they're training, there is no, you know, sense of being threatened or sense of being, you know, emotionally attacked or psychologically attacked by her cousin, because it's such a, you know, like ideal environment for her to truly thrive in. So once she willingly removes herself from that space or leaves it, I think she's now going to, in future episodes, going to realize like, hey, I actually don't have as like strong a grip on, you know, my abilities as I thought I did.
I agree, but I think you need to have that scene in this episode. I think as a standalone episode, you could have perfectly capped it off, and we'll talk about the ending, where she goes, I can handle it. I'm going to go back to being a lawyer. I can have everything I want. And what you really needed was in that courtroom scene, after she kicks Titania's ass or something, for the judge to go, mistrial. And she's like, what now? And he goes, you just turned into a monster and like fought like the jury can't now like answer honestly. You literally saved their lives from a superwoman. Like, this is a clear mistrial now. Yes. And she goes, oh fuck, I guess I can't have it all. I think that would have been way stronger, and it would have given like a moral to this episode of she's so convinced that she can have it all, and really she can't. She's not in complete control of what.
But that wouldn't make any sense, Vito.
Why?
Well, because at the beginning of the episode has established she's already been the She-Hulk, right? We're watching it out of order again, remember, because this was supposed to be the second to last episode.
That's the first time she's ever hulked out in court.
No, it's not though. Remember, because the friend says as long as you don't Hulk out. So apparently she's already hulked out.
No. She told her friend. She said the only people who know about this are me, my friend, and you, the audience.
Oh,
right.
So she's never done it in public.
This was supposed to be the second to last episode, so we're assuming that other things have happened prior to this one. But then since they shifted the order,
I don't know. I disagree with that.
I don't think this is the second to last episode uncut. I think they took this training montage and the front and back, the lead in and the Titania court part. I think they added that to make it into a first episode. I'm going to say those are reshoots. Rhea keeps trying to get in here. Rhea.
Yeah, I was going to mention, like, in the credit scenes, the illustrations for all the different, things happening before we get to, like, the post-credit scene. It shows that she's, she is her She-Hulk self in the workplace as well. So I'm hoping that we see more banter and interactions with, her struggling to, maintain that, respect and despondence in the courtroom, like in front of a jury, where her ability to deliver information like without any sort of rage or anything like that can impact the direction of her cases. And she has she was shown like using dating apps, so we're probably going to see her struggling to find love because of her new super abilities. So I do think that the credit scenes at least alluded to more struggles that we're saying would have done this episode a big service to have been shown.
Maybe she'll inflate like a balloon and eat someone.
Does anyone else have a feeling it's going to be really campy? Like it's going to turn into
I want it to be campy.
Super campy lawyer show.
Mark Antony for 5 says Pai Mei was right about American women and restaurant. I forget the line, but I know what you're talking about.
I hope that at some point during one of the court scenes, they have like her like confronting a rapist, and then she just reaches over and grabs his skull and just crushes it as the Hulk.
Why do that? Why not just grab his balls?
I don't think they're gonna do that. So she has incredible balance as the Hulk, as She-Hulk. There's the boulder throwing. So Hulk, is raw strength, but it kind of seems like she has better balance and control. And yeah, he's clearly humiliated. I don't know, like. It would be cool if they were like constantly one-upping each other, but honestly, Bruce just comes off like a bitch, shoves her off a cliff.
That was my favorite part.
It's kind of a bitch move from Bruce. And then we get a little bit of drinking. I don't know. I thought this could have been funnier. You could have had more fun with this scene.
I do like how he frames this as like a good thing. Like we could drink so much more than anybody else on the face of the planet.
I was like, you're gonna go bankrupt.
That's a fucking that's a bar tab, dude.
Well, he's going to Costco. He's getting Costco brand. He's probably got some money from the Avengers or whatever. Good for them. All right, after a bit of drinky. There's a little bit all this stuff talking about Tony Stark. I thought that was pretty good, very subtle. Where clearly he misses his buddy Tony. I thought that was good. I hope they explore.
Dead, right? He's dead for good.
Our resident Marvel expert, John.
Fucking dead. Good.
Yeah, he's dead. What do you mean good? Iron Man dying was. I actually thought the Iron Man death was really badly done. Am I one of the only people who thinks that?
I don't care.
In Endgame, I was I didn't really feel anything. I mean, it was a good line. I am Iron Man. It was a good line to go out on.
I thought they did that.
You should have been like, I was Iron Man, and then just die.
Something about it, I didn't feel anything. I felt more, again, for Bing bong.
When Spider-Man dissolved into.
Oh man, I cried like a baby when
Me
Spider-Man turned into dust.
I was pretty sad.
But I mean, that's literally like a teenage kid begging for his life. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Please don't let me die. I don't want to die. And I'm like, oh my God.
That was pretty horrible.
Dude, that
fucking pulled you right out.
Yeah, I'm like, this is not fun at all. Literally just a teenage kid. Please, I don't want to die for the love. You're like, I'm sorry, kid. I mean, what are you going to do? Jorge Ortiz. Why did they downplay the fact that Bruce was abused by a child as a child by his father? Is that in the MCU or is that a comic thing?
Well, it's sort of in the first Hulk movie.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that one.
Yeah, I remember in the first Hulk movie, he was like, "Yeah, my dad pulled my dick out," and
not that kind of abuse, John.
Oh. What do you call it? I agree. That was kind of the one line that I was like, if you just didn't go that far with it. I mean, I was like, once you talk about women getting murdered, I was like, this is a little too much. But then when she goes, I infinitely control my anger more than you. I was like, that's not true. Come on. There's no way. Like Bruce is controlling his anger to a level that is like insanity. Yeah, I guess and I know what she's trying to say. She's just trying to say as a woman, this is a terrible freeze frame, by the way. But as a woman, she's saying she has more experience dealing with her anger. But comparing it to Bruce, I mean, it was again, I have to know, do the writers believe that, or is this the character being pig-headed and wrong? And I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do with that line.
The writers believe that.
I think this is what I was mentioning earlier, where like when you're emotionally elevated, you're more susceptible to using hyperbole in order to convey a point.
But that makes me not like her character. Like, you're trying to endear me to this character. This is like the point in Spider-Man where Spider-Man goes, "Yeah, go be crazy, robber guy," and you're like, "Oh, this Spider-Man, he's out of control." But then he learns a lesson. She doesn't really learn a lesson from this. It's like she kind of has a little outburst, goes at her cousin. She even, admits, she's like, "I'm sorry I hurt your feelings with all my raw, correct assessments of you and your character." And
Top Loaded, like, what did you think of this scene? Kind of interested in what Top Loaded thinks.
Oh, me.
That's you.
I don't think there's any teachable moments that are ever going to happen because she already knows everything about everything and has learned everything about everything.
Well, I think in later episodes, maybe. I think in later episodes she could finally start having some weaknesses. But I don't know why you don't have the first episode and just have an arc. I think you should have ended it with, "Oh shit, I'm not in control of my powers," instead of playing a fun song about how great she is.
Well, I think like if what you're saying is true and this is all rewrites, they probably knew that, and then they were like, "Oh shit, we kind of have to do this all in one episode in like 35 minutes," and then like kind of, and that's what I felt the entire show. I was like, this is just speed running through these very important, like I could have done an entire season of them on this island and her kind of learning. Like that would have been fun.
I would have liked to see this stretched out to like 2 episodes, but these Marvel shows usually have I don't know how many episodes they're supposed to be. Is it 8 again?
9. They
always have really short seasons, it feels like.
I have a feeling that 90% of the budget was in this one episode.
Well, this fight was pretty well done. I thought I enjoyed the Hulk fight.
And it does visually look a lot better than everything that we've like. I've only seen stuff like doing this show about like what this is going to look like. And it looked like dog shit every time that we spoke about what this was going to be. And this looked a lot better than what I thought it was going to look like.
Yeah.
I hope the rest of the show is rendered as well as this was, because this was like, it was at least.
It definitely looks like they spent money on it. It looks good. Bruce looks great. She looks pretty good. People were saying part of the problem was they uploaded the trailer to YouTube, and YouTube compression just kind of smoothed stuff out, so you lost some detail and it made her look kind of rubbery.
Yeah.
I do not get this Cheetos with chopsticks joke. Did not laugh.
It's everywhere
not even
now.
As a callback.
Yeah,
is it everywhere?
It's like a TikTok thing.
They made a commercial about it. Like somebody was eating like what was it? It was somebody coming up with the need for a face cam or something. The first iPhone, what is it when you Skype or whatever? Somebody came up with the idea because they had Cheeto hands or something. I don't know.
So to avoid touching their phone with Cheeto hands, they use chopsticks.
I feel like
just
that's
Cheeto
a shitty way to promote Cheetos. Is like it's gonna make your fingers orange. It's like that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a delicious cheesy snack.
See, again, from She-Hulk, I'm looking for like a little bit of humility. And she gives this apology. I mean, I know this is kind of her character, and I'm sorry I said a bunch of harsh but very true things. Except for that thing about you having to hold your anger in more than your cousin, who has like suffered horrendously and seen like half his friends die and whatever. I don't know. It's like, again, I just want her character to have a little.
I'm glad
I know she's a strong, sassy, independent lady. Just like in this, I don't know. I want a little more humility from her. But again, that's me being a misogynist, and I just want women to toe the line and not have emotions and whatever else.
Yeah,
I'm the worst.
I think in this scene, she probably feels a little bit more secure to not have to apologize as much to Bruce because he creates that psychological safety, environment for her. Whereas when we see her
they can
finally
joke
transform,
around.
When she finally transforms into She-Hulk, like in front of the public, like she's now going to be held accountable, like, and that's like her whole job is like to hold people accountable. So now the public is going to be holding her accountable to keep herself in check. So I think maybe we'll see more humility and more like we're speculating challenges, like, and that will make her more relatable, I think.
She goes, basically I was right and Bruce was wrong. See, this is like the hubris setting up for the fall, which is why it drives me nuts that in this episode we don't see the fall. It's a perfect setup. I was right, Bruce was wrong. Well, that is a character whose hubris is so high up that something needed to go wrong in the court to prove that no, Bruce was right, you were wrong, you're not at full control. But instead we get the court scene where girl power reigns supreme. Let's see. Was she hulks out, takes off her shoes, turns into the Hulk, and fights Jamila, right?
Yep.
Where's Jamila? This scene felt like it was originally longer and like they had to cut it aggressively.
Yeah.
As you see, Jamila gets hit by a thing and then immediately jumps back across the room. Let me see. Where is she at? This was not very well edited, I thought. Jennifer Walters, attorney at law. All right, throws the thing. She throws it back. All right, so now Jamila should be under a thing, right? Because she just got hit by a thing. Literally one shot, and then she's already out from under it.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, what happened there?
Kept her dusting herself off.
That was like way too quick. So I feel like this was originally a longer fight, and that we're missing some middle part. I feel like there was originally... Yeah, even there, when did she pick up the podium? Where's the shot of her picking up the podium? Jennifer Walters, attorney at law. And then you cut back, and this feels like later on in a fight. She just went from talking to her to... I feel like this fight scene must have just been really badly shot, and they're like, shit, I don't know how to edit this. She'll throw the thing. She'll throw it back. We had that. And then, hey, I'm already back up. This was terribly edited. Maybe they just wanted to get the episode over with.
Yeah. Why does she look like she's from the 70s, though? Like,
I don't know anything about this Titania character. Does anyone know?
Well, it's a new take on the character. She's gonna be like a social media influencer or some shit.
Oh,
who's also whatever. A bad guy. That seems like a fucking not very smart way to be a bad guy.
Influencers are bad guys.
She uses TikTok. Obviously, she's a bad guy.
Hey,
I can't even get a shot of her for some reason because this fight scene goes by so quick. Where's she at? Can't even get a shot of her. All right. Anyway, so then again, I really wish there had been.
Hold on. Just keep that up for a while.
Right there. Ride Dog for Two says, "Show me those green feet."
Dan Schneider directed this episode, huh?
This is why the people. Oh God, the Dan Snyder. Oh God, it's the worst.
Give the people what they want.
People have been retweeting
big old green feet.
There's like 10-year-old Facebook posts of like the main character from iCarly, and it's like, oh, look at aren't feet hilarious? And you're like, how have they not deleted these Facebook posts? My God. Anyway, then we get what I honestly was like, that's how you're gonna end the episode. But here, let's hear it.
Hold on. There you go, the transformation.
That girl, who's that? This is where you needed the judge to just go, get out of my courtroom, or like something to illustrate that no, you can't just transform. I don't care if you're saving the people. Like, that screws up the court proceedings. Let the cops handle it or something.
Maybe that's going to be the beginning of the next episode.
Do it in this episode. You have a setup for a what do you call it?
They're supposed to leave you like, haha, she's
closing.
You're supposed to think that, oh, it's a happy ending, and then you get to the next episode, like, oh shit, she fucked up. She shouldn't have did that.
It just feels like a ripoff of The Dark Knight whenever they introduce Harvey Dent.
It also just would have been funny to interrupt the song with that. Like, get the fuck out of the courtroom.
Yeah, it would have been funny.
I would have laughed my ass off.
Edit.
Who's that girl? Mama. You're fired.
Let's try.
We can't.
Okay, that would have been funny. I'll give it to you.
I don't want
what
a
do you think of the
monster on my legal
sexualizing
team.
of her feet in that scene? Rhea?
It's for all the boys and all the girls want to see those Hulk feet.
I'm not mad at it.
Right.
I hope every episode has this. I think that would make it good.
Yeah, just the ending on her feet transforming
Who's
back.
that girl?
Well, I think again, Vito. I think this is again because they make a point to take her shoes off. So I think in one of the other episodes, she's going to actually bust through the shoes.
Yeah, I'm
That's
sure
why she knows.
That would be how. Oh man.
Well, that's
There's
what again.
So much come flooding the streets if they do that scene.
That's what I'm hoping. I didn't even watch this. I did not watch this ending sequence.
Me neither.
He's telling me there's going to be
that was
a Vonger's mug. What is this? Copyright law.
The last 6 minutes of this is just fucking.
It's a long 6
That's
minutes.
long.
Yeah,
that's a long.
Well, there's another joke in there, and that was the only joke that made me smile because nothing.
This joke made
laugh.
you smile. I didn't understand this joke at all. Why is she? What's the joke? She's obsessed with whether or not Captain Virgin or Captain America.
She wants to fuck him, Vito. She finds him sexually attractive, and she can't stand the fact that he might not have fucked.
I don't understand why she would think that he's a virgin to begin with.
Yeah, well, that doesn't make any
knowing that
sense.
He explains it in the episode.
Back.
Her explanation is bad. She's like,
I didn't say.
She's like, he would have never had time. I'm like, bitch, he was in the Avengers compound, like training people and shit, like just hanging around.
He went back in time and then came back old. Like, how?
I think this is foreshadowing. She thinks that once you become a superhero, you're not going to be able to fuck. Now that she learns that Captain America
women
can
get
fuck.
this joke. Rhea, do women talk about this? Do you guys talk about who fucks or not?
I mean, I definitely do. I can only speak for myself, but I think the purpose of this scene, and her ongoing, fascination with Captain America's virginity is sort of like, maybe this joke didn't land as like a subversion of like, this is exactly how guys sound and how uncomfortable women are when we hear y'all talk about this. But yeah, it is.
I don't talk about this. I don't talk about who's a virgin or not. It's not a guy thing.
Guys don't talk about people fucking.
Well, no, like talking about like asses and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's me guilty.
All right, maybe. Well, as a proud virgin, I have to say I was very upset on behalf of the incel virgin community. I thought this was a dig at all of us who are afraid of women and their powers. I don't know. I was like, there were. I feel like the jokes in the show are not good. I did not like.
They're perfect.
Oh my god, what is happening now? Now Disney's like, do you want to watch Avengers? Oh, we got a little armpit shot almost. What's with the shirt?
Not hairy enough.
I want full pit. Come on. Yeah, right. See, guys don't care about boobs and butts. That's all smokescreen. We want armpit,
hairy armpits and feet.
Fight. Let me get them feet. Do we get a feet shot early on when she puts on the shoes? There's a lot of shoe stuff.
There's a really good foot shot when they're both fighting on the island. I don't know if you saw that floating around the internet.
Oh, good. Oh, look at them feet. Hey-oh!
It is very funny to me that this is going to become like the Green Foot show.
Yeah, show them feet. Blah, blah, blah. Wait, where do I see her feet again when she's bound? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Super chat if you like feats, up in the chat. This again was another making fun of Hulk's manliness. We skipped over this one again. I just thought it was like over the top. Like make a couple of those jokes. Make one or two.
What I didn't understand about that one is the fact that I couldn't. Maybe it was just the phone that I was watching it on, the little crappy speakers, but it sounded like he wasn't groaning to jump. And she gets there and she's like completely making fun of him for groaning, but she groans several times. I didn't get that.
Let's listen. All right. It's a little much. At least we got to see her feet. That's what's important. All right, guys. Well, why don't we round it up one after another? Let's give it a Tony. Tony, give me a out of 10 and why.
Well, I think it's a solid 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. It was funny, interesting. I love the character. I love the John Byrne run of the comic, which inspired this. I'm looking forward to more, to learning more about this character.
Fascinating, short and sweet. John breaks bad news.
Oh, I give it a, I don't know, 7.
Why?
Because it was, it was fine. It was good to look at, and the feet, Also, I just wish that they would have pushed issues a little better.
More issues.
Yeah, more issues, more social commentary. Really, start talking about sex trafficking. That would have been fun. A little bit of that. I also, like a rape scene would be good.
All right, John breaks bad news. We have Top Loaded Gaming out of 10.
I would probably say 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah. I'm not into the whole, crapping on the existing characters just to prop up the, new character. It's not really my thing. The jokes didn't land for me. I don't see any redeeming qualities. For me personally, this is not the type of show that I would like. I would not like a quirky lawyer comedy, so it's just not for me.
Not your kind of thing. Rhea, out of 10.
I give it a 7 out of 10 as well.
7? That's low.
No. 7 out of 10 is good. It has potential to grow. There are a lot of things that the show is implying we'll see in the future, like challenges with her personal life and in the workplace, as well as like this new antagonist. So those seeds, I'm hoping will grow into, 8s and 9s in future episodes.
All right, and I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I hate women. I hate women's issues. I hate learning lessons. I liked when the Hulks fought because they're big and green, and I like dumb action. But ultimately, look, I feel like the comedy fell flat. I feel like you had a perfect opportunity to have a perfect little episode arc where something goes wrong at the end and we learn she isn't actually in control of her powers, but without that, it fails as a pilot. Your pilot should establish what the theme is. I don't know what the theme is. If I had to judge it based on this episode, it's just she's that girl and she gets it all done and she don't need no man. And I assume the rest of the show isn't like that. But if I have to judge it based solely on the pilot, I have to say this pilot fails thematically. I'm hoping that we get away from the men are the ultimate evil in She-Hulk's life into exploring some more territory. But ultimately, I'm a big, dumb, misogynist man, and I just did not get it. And that's the bottom line, folks.
And I just want to confirm, I do not smell like cream soda. It would be
Who's
Mountain Dew.
You smell like cream soda?
It would be Mountain Dew and cigarettes, just for the record.
You're a smoker. Copium says House of Dragons was better. I almost started watching it.
I agree with that.
I do want to watch it. People are saying to put the cat on camera.
Actually, I don't know how they did it. I really don't. But as much as I could not stand the ending.
Hell yeah,
I liked it.
Oh, I'm sorry, top loaded.
Just getting man
got
boob.
a nice little
nice man boob shot. The problem with Mud, and I know it sounds racist, is he's so dark he doesn't show up on camera. Mud, you got a very dark face. Hey, crazy cat. All right, guys. What a great show. I want to thank everybody who came on by. And the best way to thank you is by letting you plug your nonsense. Rhea, how do we find you?
Yes, you search for Rhea the Glimmering Harpy or Rhea Harpy, and you'll find me on YouTube. I'm also on Twitch, and you'll find links to my Twitter where I post all kinds of fun stuff. So go follow me there.
Rhea with 4 A's.
4 in the URL. Yes, on YouTube.
There we go. We found her. Rhea the Glimmering Harpy. Subscribe. Hit the bell. We love her. She's great. She's a great sport to put up with all us horrible boys. John Breaks Bad News. We find you over at John Breaks Bad News, of course. Yes, and on TikTok, I believe.
On TikTok, Twitch, Facebook. If you have a message that you would like to deliver, Babytopia. That's also another one.
I went to TikTok.com, and that's what comes up. Did my browser get hacked?
But yeah,
go to baby. Oh my god! Well, TikTok is just screaming at me. John Breaks Bad News. You can find him on TikTok and YouTube, and Babytopia.
Yeah,
I think I downloaded some malware.
If you have a message that you want delivered to your to like a friend or family member, or even like somebody like a mortal enemy that you have, and you don't want to say that thing that yourself, send me an email, johnbreaksbadnews@gmail.com.
John will break the bad news for you.
I will tell them for you.
Call them up and I'll let them know. You got any good highlights recently? Any good bad news?
I have some stuff that I'm going to be clipping and putting up on TikTok, and also like a supercut that I'm going to be putting up on YouTube.
I'm excited. Well. I'm excited. Well, of course, we have top-loaded gaming. Top-loaded. Anything been happening? I know you've been a busy boy.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. Top-loaded Space Gaming. I'm not sure what you're going to watch there because I haven't made a video in a long time.
Yeah, but you're coming back. I know you've been
coming
busy.
back. I'll be back once I get.
And of course, Tony, the Geek Getaway. Why can't I find it? There we go. I love the Geek Getaway. He's got, man, subscribe to this guy if you want all the good geek news. You got the scoops. This man is scooping news all day long.
He does hard work.
I try. I noticed you put the Mexican last. You skipped over me.
Let the white guys go first. I went from me and around. It's random. You can go first next time, all right? Mexico to the front of the line. Why not? I would recommend watching this video on Batman Gate. I've wanted to cover this. It's fascinating. A man has claimed that he wrote the Batman movie and had the script stolen from him. He's asking for $3 million, not to sue Warner Brothers, which would make sense, just because he wants Batman fans to thank him for writing the Batman.
Well, I thank him.
He's so far made $40 from 2 people. So this is
one of those people has his own last name.
Yeah, this is hilarious. He goes, I want $3 million. They're like, oh, you're going to sue Warner Brothers? He goes, no, I just feel like I deserve it because I wrote that Batman movie. The biggest idiot in the world. And he did not write the Batman movie. He's just a dumbass.
I think he did.
He probably did. And then, of course, I get my plug. Don't forget to go to superkiller.org. Guys, we are like 50 signups away from having 1,000 names on the mailing list. Can I show more of this? I'm going to show more of this if I can bring it up.
Yeah, when is this coming out?
The problem is you got to make it, So I have the artist working on it. But it takes time to draw. It's going to be 48 pages, which is like twice the length of a normal comic book. So it's going to take
comics like 96 pages, Vito.
Yeah, but you don't have like a whole year working on it. What?
You don't have like a timeline as to when it's going to be?
I have a timeline. My plan is October 31st, Halloween. I want to launch the Kickstarter. And then hopefully print it and ship it by like February or March.
Because I saw the 22 and I was like, okay, so this year, but it's not going to be this year. It's going to be next
I don't know. It all depends. Look, here's the thing. There's going to be plush toys, lunch boxes, multiple variant covers. Okay, there's a lot of moving parts. Right. I'm just in the mailing list stage. Okay, maybe I jumped the gun by announcing it so early, but whatever. It's here. Superkiller.org.
Are you seriously moving forward with the Overfiend variant cover? Or
I gotta contact that guy.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. Yes, absolutely.
It looks great. It really does. It looks.
He's
really
a really
awesome.
good artist. I gotta pay him more, and then I see him like sometimes like sniffing around trying to find more work, and I'm like, no, you work for me. And he's like, yeah, but like I'm waiting on pages from you, and I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna lose this guy. Someone else is gonna snap him up, and I'm gonna kill myself.
You gotta get working on it.
Let me see if I can bring it up. I have contacted. I sent a message to. I can't show any of this on stream. What's that guy? Toshio Maeda. I sent a message to Toshio Maeda on Facebook, who some of you may know. I can't show any of this. The creator of La Blue Girl.
Oh, I know that show.
He's like the original godfather of tentacle porn.
Finally found one you can show, huh?
He made it like popular. I wish I could find the one I have because I actually own an original piece of artwork I bought from him like 10 years ago, and it's one of my prized possessions. Anyway, I contacted him and I said, "Can you have? Would you do a tentacle cover for my comic book, like a variant cover?" And he seemed into it. He was like, "Yeah, that could happen." So I just have to find out how much it's going to cost for the limited edition Demon Beast Invasion cover. Why are these all so small?
That could be a stretch goal for your campaign.
I'm just going to print like 100 of them, and then when the 100 are gone, that's it. You got to get
one of those.
Kickstarter exclusive.
See, I have, if I could find it. See this book, Demon Beast Invasion Book 2? Is that lady about
to bust? Is that what's
I think
going
she's
on
being assaulted by a tentacle. But what do you call it? The back cover, which I can never find a picture of. I own the back cover illustration for this book, and it's fantastic. All right. Well, anyway, that's just me being a weird pervert.
Absolutely not for children.
Go to see. Well, it's not.
I mean, I brought it up, so.
This guy's look.
Tell me what I show my kids.
I was trying to explain to people about La Blue Girl. Back in the day, if you went to the flea market, because you couldn't buy anime. Like, kids today are spoiled. They go, I just go to Crunchyroll. No, back in the day, you had to go to the flea market, and there was a weird dude with a bunch of dubbed VHS tapes of Ninja Scroll and Akira. And he'd be like, hey, you want a cool one, kid? And you're like, what? And he's like, you got to watch La Blue Girl. It's about a bunch of ninjas who fight with sex. And you're like, the what? And then you would buy this shitty 4th generation VHS transfer, and you could barely tell what's going on. But this ninja chick is masturbating while facing west because that's the only way to access the demon realm. Once she gets there, she electrifies her pubic hair and shoots it like lightning bolts. And you were like, man, I love fucking anime so much. And that's what it was like growing up in the 90s, guys. So
you had a really weird experience because none of that shit applied to anything.
What are you talking about? You never went to the flea market and bought fucking ninja porn?
We had Suncoast Video. We had ninja porn at the video store.
They didn't have La Blue Girl at the fucking video store.
They had a whole section.
All right, well, whatever. You were spoiled. I don't know where you're living.
Anime is for pedophiles. So
I was at, well, yeah, basically.
I'm in a major city.
La Blue Girl, I'm talking to Maeda. He's like an old man, but I'm going to try and pull him out of retirement to do a cover. Hopefully he doesn't want too much money. If he wants like $1,000, I got to think about it because I can only print. Well, if I print 100 copies of the comic and sell them, I'd have to sell them for like. Well, if I sell them for $10, I break even.
Yeah, sell them for $15.
So I make $500. Wasting my time.
$20 is a variant cover price.
Honestly, a lot of these guys sell the not safe for work variant for $35. Now, call me crazy.
I buy it for $35. I'll do it.
It's like a it's like a special thing.
Make
anyway,
$15 off of me.
If you want to buy the regular cover, it's way cheaper. If you want to buy the one that it's like a limited edition thing, it's up to you.
Well, if you get Toshio, it'll be worth more than $35. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, that's the thing is that if it's a limited edition 100 printing cover and like people are into his art, I'm gonna say this, guys. My comic book is gonna be like 10 years from now. You're gonna go. I had the opportunity to own a copy of Super Killer #1, which is now a limited edition collector's item for one of the greatest comic book, movie, and television franchises of all time. So get in now, baby. It's gonna be phenomenal.
100%.
Phenomenal.
I believe that. I can't wait to be able to read it.
I honestly, guys, I got plans.
Just knowing
to get early access for the 100 limited run copies of this issue.
Yes.
You need to sign up for the mailing list to get priority access to that pledge tier for those rewards, y'all.
I wonder if I could put up a campaign early for, I don't know. No, they don't let you do that, but I don't know. Regardless, guys,
just knowing Vito and knowing his stickler like antics for storytelling, you will be, I guarantee you're going to get a good story.
Looks great. He goes around, he shoots people in the head. It's hilarious. There's more to it.
It sounded good when I read it. So,
DMC XXS is the Super Killer have any tentacles? One of the things about the book is that it's got like a sliders aspect where they go from universe to universe. So they could very well end up.
I loved sliders
in a tentacle universe. It's the greatest sci-fi original series.
Yeah, it really is. It's better than Star Trek, better than Star Wars. It's one of. If you haven't watched Sliders, go watch Sliders. It's the only good one in the world.
I'm gonna real quick, and if anybody needs to bow out, feel free. I'm gonna see if I can bring up. Oh, did I private it? I had a great video where we talk about Sliders, but I may have privated it.
Oh.
It was one of my favorites. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can find it. Anyway, guys, this has been the Monday Night Grift. Anyone wants to bow out while I try to remember my password for a 10-year-old email address?
I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be right back.
Go nuts. Okay. Oh, I might be able to get in here. Hold on. See, I set a bunch of like my old videos to private because I look like an idiot. But here it is. Yeah, I got it. This was a sketch from 2013. This is some classic vintage Vito. This was. Do you remember when Monte Teo? Do you remember this news story where Monte Teo told everyone his girlfriend died, and then it turned out he didn't even have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
So we made a pitch where me and my buddy we played Monte Teo's PR team, and we're the best PR guys in the business. You know, who do you think came up with Monte Teo's dead girlfriend? And this guy's like an athlete, and he's like, that didn't work out at all. And we're like, well, that one got away from us, but we got a lot of great ideas. And so we keep pitching him ideas. One of the ideas is that he's this, kryptonite. He's like You're
not gonna play the video or what?
Not the whole thing. I just wanted to go to the part about sliders. Hold on. There's young Vito looking dapper.
Looking like a baby.
Here was the bet. Here's our big pitch because all our previous pitches he did not like.
I'm getting a big no vibe from you. Is that a no?
Oh, hold on. Why is it not playing? Why is the video frozen?
Is that a no? Charlie, it looks like a no. God damn it. Let me take it from here. Now, Charlie, doping is bad, right? Yeah, it's pretty bad. But it's as bad as killing 6 million Jews. Ooh, that's really bad. What? Adolf Hitler. The man single-handedly responsible for the Jewish Holocaust, and get this, you're gonna kill him.
Hitler's already dead. I can't kill him again. That's impossible.
Not for a Time Warrior.
What?
We're gonna make it look like you traveled back in time and killed Hitler. Charlie, you're Jewish. Jewish and proud. Killing Hitler? That's a tasty bagel.
You can't undo the Holocaust.
Okay, people are gonna understand that this was an alternate reality Hitler from a parallel timeline. Like Sliders. Oh yeah, like Sliders. You've seen Sliders.
Okay.
You haven't seen Sliders? Dude, you should totally watch Sliders. You gotta watch Sliders. Sliders is great. It's like the best sci-fi original series. Wait, one more.
Hold on, we got one more pitch. What was the last pitch?
One more shot.
2 seconds.
Okay. Change the story. We already did dead girlfriend. Right. Dead boyfriend?
Damn it!
Now you want to keep up with shit? Asshole! What the fuck? He's here! He's here! Go! Get out of here!
Why are these privated? These are great.
This is good. This is great comedy, Vito.
It was pretty good. This is when I had ambition to make things, and I don't know what happened.
It's crazy how some good videos just never take off for whatever reason.
Oh yeah, that had like no views. I should honestly, at one point I started re-uploading like old comedy videos to my channel, and then I stopped.
You should do that again.
Yeah, I should do that. At some point, I need to re-edit my pilot. I don't know if I actually need to re-edit it, but at one point, wait, where the hell is it? Oh, I'm on the wrong tab. I have my pilot we filmed for a Comedy Central like contest to like make a pilot.
Taco Muncher
is a must-play title. I love this game so much, I have to buy a new pair of pants. And now, another title from Game Town called Jetpack Joe. Though I think it should have been called Jetpack Blows. This game sucks harder than my girlfriend, and she's a vacuum cleaner. That's why I'm giving it my cheesy Game of the Month award. Way to suck, Game Town.
I have no idea what this guy's saying.
It was about a struggling independent game company that gets a bad review from this was my take on Jim Sterling, I think. I don't know how he ended up as an Asian man who can't talk. And it turns out he was being blackmailed.
He's talking fine.
Yeah, he's talking great. Anyway, I kept meaning to re-edit this to make it not suck so much.
I want to watch it now. I'm interested.
Yeah.
You got me hooked, Vito.
This was back when I had ambition, guys. I was gonna make TV and whatever else, and then none of it ever came together.
Yeah, but you're doing a comic book now.
I'm doing a comic. Here's my plan is. I think animation is the future because you can't make like scripted comedy. They don't let you make good jokes.
And who you wrote and directed all of this stuff, or
I didn't. I had a buddy help direct it, but I wrote the script and paid for it all. It was pretty good, honestly. I actually have on my computer. I had a buddy, what do you call it? Redo the characters, and we're maybe going to repitch it as an animated show. So maybe that'll happen. It was pretty.
I used to do similar videos. I did this one called the Xbox Lifer. It was supposed to be this like, to
help me keep
cringe gamer.
Who's a cringe gamer?
Did I cut out or something?
No, Vito froze.
Oh, darn.
I was saying that I made videos like this in the past, scripted, videos like that. I had made this episode called the Xbox Lifer that I wanted to continue like ongoing, but, never went anywhere. But so it's pretty cool to see.
Man. It's tough to make things happen. And then I got trapped in Oakland, California, and nothing good was happening.
That's rough.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to end the show.
Yeah. Right.